Wester here. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do a Bavarian Demon 3SX complete setup from scratch using a DX7S Spectrum radio with an AR7700 receiver with a satellite. And the satellite connects straight into the receiver, not the actual BD unit. Right, so what we need to do is basically hold down the thumb lever and turn the switch on, and you'll get into the setup system mode. So first of all, we'll clear all settings, model reset. Yes, we'll reset that. And press back. Turn it off again. Hold down the thumb switch over here, press it down, turn the switch on, gets into setup mode, and we want to go model select. Yeah, we'll select that third one, model type, heli. Yes, we want to go to a heli, and model name, we'll leave that as it is. Swash type single servo, we'll leave that as it is. Switch select, we'll make all of these inactive. Change the knob to gear, and that's all we need to do there. Now we'll go into the main settings. Okay, so now we've got that going, and then on our screen we've got the Bavarian Demon software. Okay, so what you do is you power everything off, plug in your bind port into the bind port location on the end there. I've got my PPM connector plugged into my my Bavarian 3SX into the PPM port. Okay, so we've got the bind plug in. We want to switch it into bind mode. Normally you've got the bind buttons here. I've just switched them around and rewired it, so for my own personal reasons, but anyway, that's in bind mode now, and it's going to be expecting that to come on. So we're just going to power my my system up. Make sure you've got your wires disconnected on your motor. I've only got one connected, so it can't do anything. Okay, it's in bind receive mode. You can see these flashing hard out there on the good old receiver, and the satellite is doing the same. So I'm just going to turn that on to bind it and put it back into the normal position. It's binding. Okay, that's restarted. We've got a solid light now on the AR7700 and a solid light on the satellite. Now while it's powered up, we disconnect the connection for the bind cable, so pull that out, and that's bound. Okay, so that's waiting for a connection to the computer, which I'll plug into my computer now. Okay, that's connecting. So basically now what we wish to do now is we will actually I'll reset factory settings for a start, and see how on the bottom down here we've got the the unequal sign, so we need to write that to make what we see at the top equal the bottom. So both equal signs should now be equal. Yes, equals green and green, and as you can see you've got the load for loading files and the save as file, so saving files as you go through. Okay, so what you'll need to select your language, which is English. The device you're using, in this case, is a 3SX, and we're using, as I said, the AR7700 Spectrum with the DX7S. Okay, so now what we want to do is start setup for the setup wizard. We've done all this part here, so step one is basically setting up the transmitter. That's all done. Make sure that you've got everything disconnected apart from the 3 cables shown here. The very left cable at the bottom left is the cable for your computer software to the system, and that allows you to program this device. Now the next connection we need to do is from your AR7700 to the system, and that is the PWM cable. We need to connect in, which is your BEC or your power connection. So when you fire up your heli, it should come up with this. This is the connection you need to connect that in now. So that allows you to power up the device, and we'll go from there. Okay, so OK next, and for initial setup, previous settings, if any, will be cleared. Okay, so OK next. So this is the RC section tab, RC tab. So that's your servo types, which is digital in this case. So head's digital and my tail is digital, but I'm using a high-speed digital. So I'll go to the 760 US because digital does not work with the tail on mine, but you can try it if you wish. Okay, so and because we're using the AR7700 with a PWM cable, we select that, leave the deadband alone, and we need to, basically that's all done. And please, if you're using a Spectrum satellite or 2, do not use this flybillis controller direct with the sats only. You need to go to a receiver that's got good the signal diversity. There's glitching issues, and there's other videos out there about that. Just trust me, don't risk it. You'll smack your helicopter into the ground, and I'm not going to say it, but I told you so. Okay, so we need to write. If you're using a standard receiver, you will select interface cable, the Spectrum. Okay, I'll just talk to you about that. Now, channel assignment, Spectrum, we need to go to aileron 2, elevator 3, leave the cyclic pitch at 6, tail at 4, move your throttle to 1, leave 0, 5 and 7 for the output 2, tail gyro and head gyro. Well, that's gyro, it's even spelt wrong. Okay, well, right, so now we need to click on write, and then OK next. The diagnose tab on tab 2 now is part of the tutorial for the wizard. It's got all the indicated lights here, that everything when you're operating different switches and things, are actually giving you a true reflection of what's going on inside the system. So what we need to do, the key here is we need to basically get all of our setups on. You want to have all your trims so that you're showing 0 on your aileron, roll, rudder, your everything here should all be sitting on 0 trim right in the center. So what you need to do is, because there's 2 things that we're trying to do on the screen. One is set 0 center on the on each one of these operations. And then the second thing that we need to do is set up the maximum plus and minus travel on each operation. So we'll start from the top. Okay, so basically in this screen here we've got our we want to set our sub trims so it's showing 0 on each operation, and then your max and mins, your maximums on left and right, up and down, etc, etc. So we'll start at the top with the aileron, and as you can see it's got 3% aileron roll, so we need to press the thumb screw, scroll down to servo setup, press down into sub trim, and we want to go to aileron. And when you move this here, you'll see it either getting better or worse. It's getting worse, so we go the other way, and you want to get that to 0. Okay, so that's that done. So now we'll move back up to travel on the aileron, and we want to do aileron left, and it's only putting 79% in, so we press the button. So we want to get that to 100. Okay, that's that way. And in the opposite direction we'll press the button again. Oops. And we're only getting 80% there, so we increase that till we get to the 100. Okay, next one down is tail rudder. So we do this, we go back up again, we'll click out, go back up to sub trim, rudder, press 0, and then we want to get that reading on the screen so it goes to 0. Okay, actually I'll click in there one more, that's it, it's sitting in there nice and firm now. Right, so we go back. So now we need to go down to head gyro, that's at -2. So head gyro, I think it was aux 2. That's it, yeah, aux 2. There you go. Okay, so we've got real-time tuning, don't worry about that one. Horizontal, that's at 0. So now we move on to the right hand side, and we've got the elevator. So don't worry about which way the controls are going, because you can fix that at a later stage. So we're just worried about, okay, so we've got, what we're worried about is making sure that our elevator center is perfect. So go left or right until you get to the 0. Okay, and then we go to the up to travel, back to travel, elevator, and then we pull down, and it automatically selects the one we want to adjust, and it's at 79%. So we scroll up to the right, and we get to 100%, and then we go the opposite direction and click it, and that's take that up to 100%. Take it back one. Okay, so everything's zeroed out, and we need to go to cyclic pitch. So cyclic pitch, to see where we're at on cyclic pitch, as you can see, the best way to get to actually find that is to go right down to monitor, and then go look at your throttle and set it for 0. There we go, it's flashing on 0. Okay, and that's still saying it's got 2% of pitch. So servo setup, sub trim, and we're going for pitch. Roll down to get it to work, and out. Okay, so that's everything at 0, and as you can see, so we've got 0, 0, 0, 0, don't worry about the real-time tuning, 0 on elevator and cyclic pitch, 0 on horizontal stabilizing channel, which is quite critical. And then we need to, so now only once you receive 0% on all your trims and then do your maxes and minuses on each direction will you get this OK to next button come up. So that's all done, and you shouldn't have to touch anything more on this transmitter now that this is all set. Everything else should be able to be done on the software. Okay, so we've done all of that. This is step 4.2. We've done all of the corresponding bars. We've checked all maximums, minimums. Oh no, we haven't done the tail. So we need to go to servo setup, travel, travel, rudder, click on the one that it needs to increase, and right hand always increases it, take it up to 100, and then the other side, take that up to 100. Okay, so we'll just check them all. So we've got aileron roll, 100, 0, 100, 0, rudder, 100, 0, 100, 0. We've got elevator, 99, 100, sorry, 100, and pitch. Okay, we haven't done the pitch, so we need to go back out of here to travel, pitch, and then we go to the top. So it automatically selects which one you want, so you click on it and then increase it up till it goes to 100. Down, same again. Don't worry about the direction of it just now, we'll sort that out later on, because once you start mucking around with all reversing these channels, it all turns out to actually be pretty much right as long as you've got your channel selections correct. Okay, so now we're all sorted. We've checked every single operation. We've got 100 up, 100 down. We've got aileron 100 left and right, and we've got elevator 100 up and down. And then everything sits back at 0, which is perfect. Okay. So now we go to next. Okay, we're checking that the collective pitch has proper direction. We've done all that. So, okay, so now what we need to do is hook up our servos. Okay, now each one of these pieces here, servo 1, 2, 3, and battery and tail servo lines up with these here. It's not very clear because it doesn't really look like it lines up, but tail servo goes to the very outside, opposite where your PC connection is. And then I'd normally start from this end at the bottom and work up, because we've already got our battery lead in, already powering up this unit. So we need to hook in servo 3, which is your elevator, servo 2, which is your right. If you've got a heli that's set up like this, front direction's this way, left, so aileron, elevator, and collective on the back. Servo left, servo right, and then elevator. Normally that's pitch, but anyway. So we'll just set that up and we'll connect those in, and then we'll be right back.